appeared at the Academy Award show, you seemed, when there was a very tight close-up and you seemed to be a little nervous. Of course, in front of a house like that, I can understand that.
Well, how about how there was 1 billion people watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was nervous.
Did you, looking back at the performance, were you happy with it and everything?
Overall, God, yeah. I mean, I was just grateful I got through it. I had so many things working against me. I had never performed live with a 50-piece orchestra before, and that was daunting in itself. And then the microphone that I sang with was supposed to come, sort of telescope out of the ground. And as I was coming out of the ground, a techie underneath the stage said, your microphone isn't going up. And so I'm sitting there, you know, in my very glamorous pose, trying to look, you know, like perfection, you know, and I'm thinking, great, I'm going to walk forward and there's going to be no microphone, and then what am I going to do? So I thought, well, don't look, don't panic, just look good for the first 30 seconds, and then you can fall apart, you know, because, you know, everyone says first impressions are the most lasting. So, of course, there was a mic stand, but it wasn't my height. And, you know, when you do a live performance, you have to sort of get through all the things that aren't exactly perfect, and it's inevitable that something will go wrong. And the more experience you have dealing with those things, they are. And so I think I did pretty well.
I would have died, I'm sure, if something like that happened.
I was nervous, but, you know, I felt good about it. So.
You attended this with Michael Jackson, of course. Was this something you guys sat down and plotted out beforehand and so we're just going to knock everybody's socks off?
No, we started working together, and I didn't have a date for the Academy Awards. And
a comment in itself on our culture, I think.
Absolutely. And I said, well, and Michael was like, well, who are you going to go with? And I looked at him, I said, I don't know, you want to go? And he said, yeah, that'd be great.
Did he pick you up at your house? Was it one of those deals?
No, he didn't pick me up at my house because I was already there. I had to do a run-through of the show right before the show, so I was there ready. So he came and hung out backstage and then went out and watched the show and my performance, and then I came and sat down with him.
So now, afterwards, after the show and everything, did you and Michael go home together, or what happened?
Well, no, we went to Spago.
Yeah.
And there was a big party, and we stayed there for hours and hours and hours. And then, yes, he took me home. And now what do you want to know? What happened after that?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, all right.
I think we read books, though, quite frankly. We were looking at... I have tons of books on photography. Yeah. So that sticks out in my mind.
What did you been working on? You've done a song with him for his next album, I think, right?
Well, we're working on a song. Yeah. It's not... I'm a perfectionist, he's a perfectionist, and we've, you know, I'm glad to be working with him, just to have the experience, you know. He's a great musical talent. But, you know, we're going to wait and finish it and then go, okay, do we want to do this? Does he want to put it in his album? Is that the next musical statement I want to make? You know, it's...
This won't be like thousands of lawyers coming in to discuss it, will it?
No, actually, the business aspect has already been taken care of. This is purely a creative question right now.
There's a part in the movie where you mentioned that you're attracted to emotionally crippled people, in a way. And so I've always thought maybe Michael just sort of fits in there. Is that fair to say something like that?
Well, I mean, when I said I was attracted to emotionally crippled people, I didn't name any names. I mean, the thing is, I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say I am an emotional cripple. I mean,
You? Yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, when I say emotional cripples, I mean people that are very needy in some way or another, people that aren't fully evolved human beings, and no, I'm not, but I'm working on it. And I think most performers or entertainers or actors are emotionally crippled in some way or another. I think that's one of the reasons we seek out other people's approval in the business that we are. That's why we are entertainers, quote unquote. That's why we are actors playing out different roles, you know. I think most actors, performers, singers, whatever, are emotionally crippled in some way or another. Really healthy people just aren't in this business, let's face it.
Do you see yourself getting better? I mean, do you notice I'm better this year than I was last year?
Yeah. And in fact, working on this movie has been a real educational experience in terms of me and my emotional state of mind. I think it was a real learning experience about myself, to watch myself view myself hours and hours of footage, seeing the sort of the little nuances in the way I deal with people, how I deal with obstacles and how I deal with surprise, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was real educational, and I think it was valuable. I can't even tell you how valuable it was.
There's also a part in the film where you say that this is a theatrical presentation of my music, the show, the whole tour was. And I think there was one lip sync part in the show, which is very clear what it was.
Yeah.
I wonder what you make of, there seems to be a reaction against lip syncing and against the whole sort of artifice of what a lot of pop music is. Do you have any moral thoughts on that?
My moral thoughts are, since I'm not going around saying, it was never a requirement of me that I sing everything live on stage. I think of myself, as I said, as a politician, as a performer, as an artist. But if sometimes part of my theatrical presentation is to have taped vocals while I'm doing other things, then that's, and people are free to not come to my show because of that. That's their option. When you watch videos, they're not live. Everybody lip syncs, and no one seems to mind that.
Given the fact that you plan things out quite a ways in advance, do you have a film schedule ahead? I mean, we heard that you're supposed to be doing a movie with Demi Moore.
I have a lot of things brewing, but with movies, it's always whatever sort of gets done first. You've got to, sometimes there's a script and a director, and the cast is all ready to go. And at other times, there's a script and a director, but the other person in the movie just got pregnant, which is the case with Demi, and you can't go with that right now. And other times there's the cast and the director are ready to go, but the script isn't ready. And
have your films turned out the way you thought they would when they finally come out? Are you sometimes surprised and say, oh my God, I didn't think it'd be like that?
Sometimes they haven't, sometimes. I mean, I've had, compared to my music career, I've had this much experience in my movie career, and I really want to have more. In my music career, I've had a lot more control, I've had a lot more input, I've been a big collaborator in it. In my movie career, I haven't. I've started threw myself into it without a lot of knowledge, and made a lot of mistakes because of that. But in a movie, you're not in charge. Just because you're the actress, you're not in charge. The director makes choices, the cinematographer makes choices, the writer makes choices, and you hope that when it's all finished, it works.
You should direct, obviously.
I want to. I want to direct, yeah.
Do you think there's a momentum in what you do that you constantly have to top yourself? I mean, especially after this movie, after Justify My Love.
It's not an idea the idea isn't that I have to top myself, but that I have to, I have to expand my own horizons and tackle the next issue, or go further in terms of creativity and what it is I want to say and what it is I want to do. I mean, I don't want to just keep doing the same thing and saying the same thing. And the thing is that the issues that I'm interested in life are generally controversial issues, so it seems that I'm trying to do that,
Yeah, well,
but for me, I don't question it. It's like, this is what I have to do.
But you will have to do something more spectacular each time, I would imagine.
Well, doesn't everybody? I mean,
well, so few people actually succeed in doing it. You've been very successful in doing it.
Right, well, I guess they're not as masochistic as I am.
Who do you want to meet next?
Who do I want to meet next?
Who would really blow you away?
I think I met everybody.